Hi, I'm Brad from Hi-Fi Side on Instagram, and today I'm going to show you how to get a speaker box to look like this by using no mud, or no body filler I should say. Pretty simple little cabinet, but we're going to show you that. In the introductory video here, I'm just going to go over some of the things that we're going to use in the video to come. Use Tight Bond 2 or blue for our glues. We're going to use a 2K clear by Spray Max. Use some Krylon color. We're going to use a rapid fill primer from Spray Max, which is 2K. In the video, I'm going to skip over building the cabinet because pretty much everyone knows how to build that. This is a little kit that I basically built for myself. It's a good little kit. Makes it fast and easy. This is the laminate that we'll be covering the cabinets in. You can get it at Menards. You can get it online. Anyone sells it. It's basically just a countertop. And I do the smooth finish. Some of them have like little speckled holes. Stay away from those. They're not a good thing. Do some safety glasses, dust mask. I won't be wearing too much of a dust mask in the video because I'm trying to talk, and usually I have the fan on blowing the dust away from me. So you're gonna need 12-inch clamps to clamp your work down as you're sanding it. This is the product to show you in the videos. It's a Merca. We call it Auto Net. It's the netted paper. You can see through it. Worked great. Most of the block sanding in the video, we use just a piece of MDF. I've had this for a few years, and it works great. I use Stick-It sandpaper. It's got a sticky back to it. You can buy a lot of this type of sandpaper at any auto parts store or Menards or Home Depot, Lowe's. We got an 80 grit, we got a 500, and we got a 320. We use a roller to put our laminate on. It's just a foam padded roller, pretty cheap little deal. I use a Durablock in the video. This is for going around the edges when we do our roundovers on it. It's just a little lighter to handle. This we use to rough sand a little bit. We have a 1/2-inch roundover bit, which is I don't know, it's a cheapie out of some kit that I had. Thought it would work good for this. You need a flush trim bit. And you'll see this blower in there. Works great for blowing off projects, any sawdust you have around you, instead of using your lungs for it. And a fan. The fan is for drying the laminate. If you don't have a fan to dry laminate, you will be there for a while it dries. So there's a few parts in the video that are very boring. I'll let you fast forward through it or fast forward through them. I didn't fast forward through them because I wanted you to make that for yourself. So let's get the video started. We're going to take clamps off. We're going to router all the edges. We're going to sand them, get them nice and flat, and then we will start to put our laminate on. First, we're going to want to set our router up, which we have a flush trim bit. It's made by CMT or Orange Tool. And you're going to want to make sure that you set your tool up so your bearing don't fall in a hole or anywhere that it might fall and gouge your work. So So first I use a small finish sander by Ryobi. That's just to kind of knock some of this down. And then we're going to come in and we're going to block sand it so we get it nice and flat. Okay, we had 80 grit on there. We have 80 grit on here too. So I usually use a clamp it down through some holes. Kind of helps me hang on to things. Okay, we're done sanding. We're gonna clean up our area here, and then we're gonna start the laminating. So, okay, we got our work area cleaned up. We can start to laminate. Oh, in the last video, I do make a dust collector for my Ryobi tools. I didn't use it on that one because this one's just my universal one that I put all kinds of different bits in. So, otherwise, them work really good. Make sure it's nice and clean. Just a little dirt on it. We're just going to use Titebond 2 or Titebond Blue. And I put it over the seam in case there's any holes in it. You can suck down in them. So the enclosure we'll put 2 coats on, and this we'll put 1 coat on. Make sure it's nice and even. And I am doing the other cabinet off camera, so that's why the roller looked like it had glue on it previously, because it did. I'm just staying a step ahead with the other cabinet as I go. The second coat on. Okay. And then I hang that off the edge of something so I can get it later. Head back. I'll get a fan out. Put it on low. And I concentrate on this. This will take forever to dry, that won't. And we'll come back and it's usually drying around 15-20 minutes. And then I'll show you how to iron it on. And we'll go from there. Okay, our glue is dry. Here's one that is drying. You can still see where it's wet spots here. And this one is dry. Dry. So we got our iron plugged in. Just a cheap iron I got from the thrift store or Goodwill or something. So it won't stick. Just making sure I got enough overhang everywhere. So I'm going to start to push this on. And I don't care about scratching it because we're going to sand it anyway. hot. Okay. Our fan bag on it. Cool it down. And we'll come back and we'll router the edges off. And then we're gonna block sand this, get it nice and flat, and we should be able to move on to the other ones and do exactly the same thing. Okay, it's still a little warm. We're gonna take and sand it. Sand's way easier when this is warm. Okay, in the camera, you can see all these white spots. That's where we're burning through the laminate, and that means these are high. These are all little high spots in here. And if you can see the dark spots in here, those are low spots. And this is where we're sanding, is right in the grayish spots. And remember, our filler primer will help us out when we filler primer it. But we're trying to do as less filler primer as possible. So there, now we'll cool it really good so it gets cool. We'll router it off. Okay, we're gonna router the edges off. It's nice and cool. When I do my boxes, I use high build 2K filler primer, which on this project we're not. We're using the rattle can primer. So I don't block the laminate out. I usually just run a DA over it, and if I see a high spot or something that's troublesome, might be down the road, then I'll block sand that out. But we put 4 or 5 coats of high build primer on it, and then we block sand that. So we're gonna set our bit, make sure it doesn't fall in a hole, mess everything up. Okay, it's routered. Take our 80 grit paper again. Kind of round them edges a little bit. We don't want them to catch on anything when we're moving the cabinet around. And just roll it up. There. Then we move on to the sides. Okay. And then sometimes I'm starting to get a lot of glue buildup on my roller. Then I get a sheet of paper and just kind of get rid of it. And it gives me a nice smooth roller again. And we'll put the fan on it, let it dry, come back and do it again. We're back. And if you watch the first one that I put the top on, we're going to do the exact same thing to this one, so there won't be any difference to it. Okay, we'll let it cool. It's cool. Got all the edges off. it back down. Through the edges. Let's take that off. Get that clean. Now put the fan back on it, let it dry. And we'll be ready to move on and router our edges with a round over bit. And we'll be ready to actually do some primary. Okay, it's dry. There's no big dirt specks in it or anything. Sounds good. That's all wore out. Get another piece of 80 grit. Good. It's not too bad. Still hot. We'll let it cool. Router them off. Switch over to this one. Okay, we're gonna use this bit. This is a 1/2 inch round over. So, get our jigs out of my other one. Put this in there. But our bearing's too far, so it'll, if we do it this way, it will drop in there. So we gotta do it this way, and then we'll come back and do the other way. Good. Making sure those are round at the edges. They like to bow up because I don't want to get too close to the edge. It'll grab that laminate and chip it. All right. So that's our cabinet. Do some fine sanding, I'll show you that. And then we'll put some nuts in the bottom here, and then we'll put 6-inch bolts, so we have something to stand it up off, and then we can primer around the edges too, so on the bottom. So, okay, so as I was looking things over, looks like I might have caught the edge here when I was sliding the box around. So I'm gonna fix that. I just didn't want to leave that part out. And this is a Bondo brand. I got it at Home Depot. It's about $25 a gallon. Works pretty good actually. It's I don't use the red stuff, and the body shop stuff that we use is about 4 times the price of this. So this works really good on wood, and haven't tried it on metal or nothing yet, but probably never will. It's just for these types of projects. We'll pick that up later. And I don't use glazing or the putty that Bondo has, the 1K stuff, 1 part. That stuff never gets hard. So. Okay, I think it's fixed. See anything else we want to fix? We don't care about them pinholes there because they will get covered at a later date. I think that's it. So I just scrape my board off, wipe it off with a paper towel, and I'm done. Okay, we're back. We're going to nub that off. So there you can see where the chip was. Okay. So we're gonna use, I use a 180. We're gonna go over the whole thing. And this is a netted paper. We use this a lot in the shop here because it doesn't matter where you orientate it on a vacuum DA or anything. It's always gonna suck through the netting, so. That'll be good enough for this. Okay. So I take a little softer block. It's made by Durablock. And you can use the hard block too. But I just want to start to kind of smooth out these roundovers. All right, now we'll go to 320. Hit it with our hands. We're just kind of looking it over here. 2 nuts in it. I don't glue them in at this moment, so otherwise I put a little bit of epoxy around them. You get the idea. That's how, and that way we can paint underneath here too. So that's it. It's ready for primer. We'll move on to that one.